Woo-hoo! I am back. It has been a while. I've been on hiatus. And if this is the first time that we are connecting, I am Grace Covington, creator of the Create with Ease podcast. And our topic today is sex, relationship, and big booties. What a way to come back. So let me just talk about my hiatus and what I've been doing, what I've been creating. So I really follow an intuitive approach in creating my business and really needed to take some time off in my business. I had gone through this space where I had some business growth that I was really excited for. It just all of a sudden happened magically, and finally started to see some of the change that I've been asking for in my business, and really needed to set some things in place where I was supported to ensure that I was meeting my clients' needs and continuing to serve my community. And so I took this time to really to create this, but I'm back because I love this online arena, and in being able to serve all of you that listen to my podcast and make sure that you are still receiving the tools that you need. So let's dive into this week's topic about sex, relationships, and big booties. So this topic really stems from something that I've been working on in my life is in not censoring the content that I have to share. So many times we censor everything. We're worried about if people are going to judge us, if we post a certain topic, if we write in a certain way, if we really speak and communicate in an authentic way that's coming from a space of truly being us. And sometimes we don't give ourselves that space because of the judgments that we're afraid to face. So I've been in this space where I'm really looking at that for myself and truly posting without a filter. And that has shifted my business in a dynamic way where people are actually reaching out to me and saying, I love your content on Instagram. Your feed makes me smile. It inspires me. It changes my whole world. And so what if you could be this for you? And what if this is what will actually transform your business so that you are generating consistent clients, consistent income, and really achieving your target in your business and generating money? And what if when we do censor, we actually stop the flow of money and stop our business from generating, and we stop ourselves from really creating from a space of infinite possibilities when we begin to quiet the voice within us, that intuitive voice that really guides us and shows us like, hey, if post this, say this. And once you begin to quiet that voice, you are actually dimming down your light. So I encourage you to play in this space. I actually walk my clients through this intimate space because it is one that not only transforms the content that you write, but you start showing up differently in the world. You're more authentic. You connect easily to people. You have no walls up, and your life really becomes so much more joyful and so much more fun. I've had so much fun just being more authentic and having authentic conversations. So I promised on my mailing list that I would do a podcast on sex, my relationship, and my big booty. So I'm going to talk about that as well, but I wanted to get some of these points out to you to contribute to your business, to contribute to your life and everything that you're creating. So let's start with my relationship. So I am married, and I met my husband on Match.com. At first I was like, I don't know if I should reach out to him. I actually reached out to him on Match.com. I just went through this tug and war, like, he's not my type, that back and forth. Finally reached out to him. We met and we instantly had a connection. I mean, it was so intense and so strong. I remember we actually spent some time together in Chicago, and it was so funny. After that whole experience, like, we interacted with each other, we went out to dinner, and I was like, I don't know if he's the person that I want to be with. I was kind of getting triggered by him and, how he was. And he said, to this day, he also tells me the same thing, that I was this control freak of magnitude and I was triggering him. And he also felt the same way. Like, he didn't know that, if he wanted to continue anything with me. So we went our separate ways. And so I just was not getting this vibe. I remember we were going to connect again for dinner, and then I had called him to confirm, and then he put me on hold for 5 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck? This is not who, I want to be with. I want to be demanded. This is just rude. How can he put me on hold for 5 minutes? And so, I hung up the phone and just completely blocked him on my phone. I thought I blocked him on Facebook, but apparently I didn't. And so, just to make the story short, then I think it had to be maybe 2 or 3 years later, he reaches out again and we connect again. We end up meeting again, and then things had changed so much between us. I was completely different. He was different in his world. And then from there, our lives have moved so fast. We got married in our dream island, which is Hawaii, and we've moved. It's just been so much change so fast, so quickly, which is amazing. I'm so grateful for him because he is a creative magnitude and a great creator. And once we come together in the space of creation, we create so dynamically, so well together, and just do it and just create. And so let's talk about relationships. My husband is really amazing and we have an amazing connection. He is my best friend. We laugh so much. It's just incredible. It's an incredible space that I have with another being, and I'm truly, truly grateful. And that's not to say that our relationship does not have the moments where we're frustrated with each other, where we get angry with each other, where we see things differently. We do. We have those moments, and we are two different people. I create differently. I see things differently than he does, and he sees it differently from me. And what I truly enjoy about our relationship is the space where we allow each other to be who we are. So even though we are different, we are completely different. I mean, I am on this end of the spectrum with some things where I'm completely wild, radical, and, just have this free thinking. And he's more linear numbers and show me the strategy, where I'm I trust in the process. I trust my intuition. I don't need to see results. So that can create conflict in a relationship because you are on two different sides of the spectrum. And how do you create a relationship when there are two people that are so different, and without you turning yourself down for the other person because your points of views are completely different? What we have is, and what we've come to and what we create with, is this space of allowance, and really allowing ourselves to show up as who we are in our relationship, and being open to hear the other person as well. Sometimes I'm so strong-headed in some of my points of views, and he's strong-headed in his points of views, but really giving us the space to say, okay, this is what he's asking for. What can I do or be here without turning myself down to actually give him what he's asking for? And the same thing for him. He does that for me in his own way. So in relationships, it's key to have that space of allowance for each other where you don't turn yourself down for another person or start to dim your light because they have a different point of view from you. And our time is always limited on this podcast. It's only 15 minutes, so I want to touch on all the topics. So I'm going to move over and let me know if what topics you'd like to hear on. If you want me to talk more about relationships, I can bring my husband on. Whatever works for you guys that truly inspires and changes your life. And so let's talk about sex. Sex is a hot topic. Sex is a topic people avoid. People think it's dirty or avoid the conversation. And it's one that, it can generate so much joy and so much ease when it's done from a space of contribution, when two bodies come together to copulate with one another, and being in a space of presence creates such a dynamic experience. And so when I like to use the word copulate because it's more generative. And so when two bodies come together, if you are struggling in this space in your marriage, I know sometimes in marriage or relationships in general, things may get old. You may get tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again, or maybe that spark has just died. And you have to be willing to consistently be in the question in your relationship. And one of the things that really turns on bodies and creates a different space and possibilities is being present in your own life. Because what's going to happen is when you do come together, when you do copulate with that other person, you are going to be able to be present in the moment and really enjoy that experience instead of being in your head, instead of judging yourself and making yourself wrong. You're going to be present for that experience. And then that's when the shift and change begins to happen, where you can experience it on a deeper level and be in communion with the other person's body and allow both of you to contribute to each other. So we only have a few more minutes. So I'm going to jump into big booties. So yes, big booties. What judgments do you have about your body? What judgments do you have about your booty? Is it small, little, big? And I know for me, I have a big booty and love my body. I didn't always come from a space of loving my body. I hated my body, judged it, made it wrong, thought I was too big, too fat, too skinny. I've gone through all those phases, but now I'm in a space where I'm truly grateful for my body. It's not like the judgments don't come back, but I'm aware and present when they're there. And then really willing to question those judgments as they come up. So the point of adding big booty is for you to celebrate whatever booty you have, whether it's small, big, whatever it is. I see so many people making their butts wrong because they look a certain way. But what if you could truly enjoy the body that you have today? And then what you find is the more you adore your body, the more it begins to show up in the world in the way that it really would like to show up. So we just have the last 60 seconds. Thank you so much for listening. Go to my website, sign up for my Facebook group. There are lots of tools that I'll be sharing there as well. Have a fabulous day.